Ah, we back. Yes. So, not a lot of space on my phone because it's full of pictures, and they're like, oh, well, why don't you get Google and get more, whatever. And I'm just like,
Download it on the laptop.
Yeah, or download it on the laptop. Yeah, my wife. Oh, so smart. But I want to have access to my pictures and stuff. I like the memories. Anyways, where were we? Marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
Your mom.
yeah, my mom was like, are you sure? Like, she's the one. And my dad was like, calling her and being like, you need to know my son's not great. I'm just like, gee, thanks, Dad. Thanks for the vote of confidence. And her family said some nasty things about me. Her mom made a clip about, oh, he's a truck driver. He's gonna murder you and spread your body apart across
United States.
She's gotten better since then. She's actually a lot more nice to me now. I think after we had 3 kids, she realized that this is going to be a long-term thing. But
It's just growing pains.
yeah, it was growing pains. We spent a lot, so I would come in every couple of weeks because I was a truck driver. So I was over the road. So we talked, like Corinne said, how many, like you 200 and something bucks on the phone?
Yeah, until I had my cell phone, because I had a job, but I don't know why I used the landline at night.
Back in the days of landline, oh my gosh.
I don't really know why, but I did. So I had to pay that bill. But then I had a cell phone at some point too, so.
Yeah, we talked a lot. Hours.
3 to 4 hours a night almost.
3 to 4 hours a night. We talked throughout the day. Like literally, there were days that we spent, I think the longest time we spent on the phone was 8 hours straight. I remember there was a day that we were on the phone for at least 8 hours straight. And just talked about everything because we couldn't actually be with each other in person. So we talked about everything. And the more aligned we got, it was like, yeah, we should do this. And I think we were together and we decided that we wanted to go talk to our bishop because we were seeking some counsel.
Yeah.
So we come from the LDS faith. And so, we had a bishop and he knew us, and what was it? We came to him after church one day and we were like, hey, can we talk? And he's like, yeah, let's set an appointment. And then he said, I think we set up the appointment, and then when we actually went to go see him, what was that? It was like a Wednesday or something, or a Thursday?
It was after Sunday.
Yeah, it was after Sunday?
It was at church.
It was after, okay, it was after church. Yeah, we went to go see him, and we sat down with him, and he basically said, I had a feeling I was going to be talking to you two kids soon. And we're like, oh? And then he told us the story about how he was basically on a business trip with his wife. They were in New York, and he was on the subway, and he said he had this thought that he was going to be talking to us about marriage. And we hadn't announced that we were looking to get married yet. That was still kind of, at the time we were still just kind of dating. We hadn't really told anyone that we were serious. This was around, Thanksgiving?
A little bit before.
A little bit before Thanksgiving. And he, we talked to him, and so he talked with us, and he counseled us, and I think the most prominent thing he said was, he said, towards the end of our, after we discussed it, and he kind of talked to us about marriage and what it meant. And I think towards the end, what did he say? He said,
the hell's a big...
Yeah, he said, he looked at us very seriously, and he said, I get the feeling that the gates of hell are going to come against you two. They're not going to want you to be together. So he basically was saying, you guys need to be serious, and you need to know that there's going to be a lot of strife. There's going to be a lot of resentment or, pushback against your guys' marriage.
The heat get turned up pretty much.
Oh, yes.
So we thought Thanksgiving would be a great time to announce our engagement. Yeah. Food, everyone's happy, family.
Yeah.
Sure, something like that. Well, everyone was on the couch. My mom, my stepdad, my brother, and his girlfriend at the time, and all my other brothers, because I had 3 brothers at home. We're all there. And we wanted to announce our engagement, and it's kind of like we were on a tribunal, it's kind of what it felt like. Me and him were standing, and you could shed a spotlight on us with how intense it was.
It was like
just
a
to announce.
freaking pin drop when we said what we were gonna say. And at the time, we were like, yeah, we're looking to get married in a year. Like, we were going to do the whole year-long engagement.
Yeah, something like that. Just to get ready to go to the temple.
Yeah, to get ready to go to the temple and have a temple marriage. If you're Mormon or know about the LDS faith, you know what temple marriage is. And, like, it was really quiet for a minute. And then
my
basically...
brother's girlfriend gave him a look like, oh, I want to get married. I think
yeah.
she was probably the only one that was like...
She was like, aw, this is so sweet. And, yeah, Corinne's parents were not so sweet.
No.
There was objection right away. I think there wasn't really anything super harsh said to me.
Well, it was more like, you guys are waiting a year, right? Like,
yeah, like, you're going to wait, right?
You better figure it out in a year and not do it, pretty much.
I think there was some commentary from her dad, basically, like, so, you know, like, what's really going on? He accused Corinne of being pregnant. Is this why you're getting married? Because you're pregnant, like, you know. And I was like, whoa, because we hadn't done anything, you know. We were trying to be good noodles. During that whole experience. We wanted to wait till marriage, which we did. And so it was kind of a shock to me when his first accusation was, is she pregnant? You know, like, no. Like, we're trying to do this right. Like, no, she's not pregnant. That's not what this is. And I think your dad also said something else that really enraged me at one point, was basically I had bought some jewelry. I was a truck driver. I had excess income at the time because I didn't have a lot of bills. I was living in my truck. I didn't have a place anymore because I had broken up with my ex. And so I was living in my truck and I had excess income. And so I bought Corinne like a really nice pearl necklace and some earrings, as a gift. And I think she was wearing them to church without me one day. And her dad said, what did you do to get that? You know, like, and this is her stepdad, by the way, not her dad, her stepdad. And I wanted to fight him. I was like, oh, you just impugned my fiance's honor. Like, fight me, sir. I was upset. Her brother said some nasty things about me because they all just assumed that I was just trying to take advantage of a young girl. Which totally was not the case.
Use the phrase young woman. Was a legal adult.
Was a legal adult, young woman, making life decisions.
It's not like you were a creeper and I was in high school and you knew me then. We didn't even know each other at that moment of my life anyway.
She was 18 when I met her, so she was technically a woman.
And at the concert when we first met, no one knew each other's age. We didn't ask anyone's ages.
Well, there was no interest at the concert when we met anyways. It was just friendly.
He didn't even know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know right now, because I've had some fights on the internet about this. They think it's wrong because people throw in your brain's not developed until 25, you shouldn't be getting married at 18 anyway line. But my thing is, it was my choice. This wasn't a grooming of a young adult. This was not anything like that. So that is a disclaimer before people are like, wow, this is weird. But I know our story isn't unique. I know there's people that have been in similar, experiences.
Yeah, me personally, our society is just so arbitrary, right? People will pitchforks and torches with a 17 and 18-year-old. I've seen that before. It's just like, dude, you were totally fine when they were 16 and 17. You were totally fine when they were 18 and 19, but 18 and 19, that's your line, like. And I'm not advocating for anything. Like, I believe that people should be of age and make proper decisions, but it's just like society is kind of crazy sometimes, and they make big deals out of nothing. But yeah, our timeline rapidly moved up because we realized that she was going into boot camp, and she found out that if we were not married by the time she was in boot camp, like I couldn't visit her. She would have to stay on base. And there's a bunch of other stuff like for her, what was it? Your dependency stuff and everything. Like that was going to be easier if she was married before. So we made the snap decision
a month
after Thanksgiving that we're just going to do this. We're going to get married before she goes to boot camp.
And what's around Thanksgiving a month after? Well,
Christmas.
And everyone felt like we were ruining Christmas trying to
get
married. we got married on the 23rd. At first we were thinking Christmas Eve, and this was before we changed our
This is before we
beliefs
came to Torah. This is before we understood.
You know, not celebrating those holidays. I was like, Christmas Eve would be nice, you know, it's the season of Jesus. Let's get married the day before.
And if you don't know me, I'm a sappy romantic. I was all about it. I was like, yeah, but we were like, okay, fine, we'll back it off a day.
There wasn't availability at the church.
That's right. There wasn't availability at the church.
The 23rd ended up being the date.
And also, like, there was just concerns because, like, her family was like, you're going to ruin our Christmas because we don't really, like, it was like pulling teeth to get them to come. And my dad...
Well, my mom didn't want to come, and if my mom's listening to this, we're just talking about past times.
Yep.
You know, this isn't a judgment against you, because things are 1,000 times better.
Oh, they are.
Everyone's in a good space now, so we're just
100%.
reminiscing now.
This is reminiscing,
but she didn't want to go. And I think what changed her mind is when my real dad's girlfriend wanted to go dress shopping with me. And I think at that moment she's like, I don't want a strange woman going dress shopping with my daughter. I need to be a part of this. And I think that was kind of the paradigm shift for her. And
Right.
after that, she was involved. And she kind of, I think she stepped aside a little bit in that space just so I could be ready for that moment.
Yeah, so I think, and attendance at our wedding was like, what, 30 people?
Well, there was a good turnout, though.
It was
probably
decent.
about
Mostly
more-
from church.
Closer to 50, I would say.
Mostly from church.
I had my cousins come.
Yeah.
I had friends from school, you know, from high school.
But we didn't, our wedding was very basic. We didn't have like a best man or like, you know, bridesmaids.
We kind of did.
I kind of did,
Mama,
you know.
Mama, how many birthday money do I have again?
Ezra, what did we ask?
Go play
I'm
first.
thirsty.
Okay, you can have some water. The joys of parenthood.
But yeah, no, he kind of had a best man, and I had kind of a best woman because she was from high school.
Right.
We had catered food, so we got food from the only Filipino food truck that was in Kansas City. And there's some church sisters put together some sandwiches and stuff, and some like veggie trays, and that was very nice. It came together very nicely for a month of preparedness. Like, we had another sister who had a wedding business, and she decorated our wedding for free.
It was beautiful.
So we had a nice backdrop. We had centerpieces, tablecloths, all of that. It was a legit wedding.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
was-
For someone who was literally in his truck, like trying to like help plan the wedding while on the road, and my wife basically just doing everything, like,
And I
you
think
know, my
we
wife
spent-
to be like, she did all the stuff like that I couldn't do when I was gone.
We spent about $2,200 in all on the wedding.
Yeah.
It was very simple and sweet, but it was still beautiful. I mean, we had a professional photographer who had a printance, and they only charged us like $100. I mean, everything was coming together. It showed a community
Right.
of support for us for
But
this to happen.
there was no dress rehearsal. There was no like practice run. Like, in fact, one of the funny things was like, we were supposed to walk down the middle aisle, you know, like traditionally you walk down the middle aisle, but there was a miscommunication. So we were standing like at the back looking at each other like through the doors. and then I was like, we got to like walk down the aisle, but she started walking down towards the other door and so we both came in on the side entrances, like not down the middle. And it was like super awkward because it's just like, that wasn't supposed to be how that went. But, you know, like our bishop, he, you know, got us married and we signed the marriage certificates and we had our witnesses and it was all official, done and done.
And went on the truck, which was another
Yeah.
point of contention.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess my family thought I was just going to get married and he was going to continue to drive truck.
Her
and I
mom.
would stay home.
Her mom literally was like, why are you packing your clothes? And she's just like, I'm going to go with my husband on the truck. And she was like, what? It's like, yes, we're married. Like, I'm going to go travel with my husband on the truck for like 3 months until my boot camp starts.
Yeah.
And her mom was like so confused because she's like, oh, I thought you guys were just getting married and then he was going to go back out on the road. And she's just like, no. By the
Yeah.
way, best 3 months of my life.
But not the
best.
Not the best idea if you're trying to go.
Yes,
boot camp.
not
I
the best
gained,
idea
like,
if you're trying to go to boot
15
camp,
pounds in 3
because
months.
truck food and living that life and being sedentary is not good for your general physical fitness. So there was a bit of like panic getting you back and like trying to get you in shape.
I was on a green smoothie diet for like a whole week, and my recruiter paid for me to go.
Well, the hot sauna, the hot sauna to sweat it out,
it
to lose.
crazy.
We were like, oh, is she gonna be accepted to
And
MEPS?
I think I was like 5 pounds over by the time I actually made it for the weigh-in, but that was within parameters because my waist was still under 35.5 inches.
Right.
But I showed up when I got weighed at boot camp, and they're like, you're a little overweight, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm already here. Didn't say that to them, but that's what I was thinking. So.
By the grace of Yah, she was able to skin through boot camp by the skin of her teeth.
Oh, I lost a lot of weight.
She did lose a lot of weight.
But at the beginning, though, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little rough. You know, you all know when you're married, you know that early married life is pretty blissful. And there's,
a lot of iron skillets.
There's a lot of iron. There was a lot of iron skillet. By the way, if you don't know what iron skillet is, yeah, go look at petrol and what was it? Yeah, iron skillet was a
nice little buffet for trucks.
Yep. Yeah. By the way, if you're a truck driver, don't do that. It's bad for your health. Just cook your own food. Like I cook lamb in my truck on my little electric griddle sometimes, and I try not to eat as much fast food. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say I don't eat fast food because I do. But
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, okay. Call me out, why don't you?
Subway's not that
Subway's
bad.
not bad. That's my main. If I'm not gonna cook, that's my main diet is Subway. I try to stay at Subway because at least it's somewhat healthy, even though I know it's not real bread. It's not real bread, I know. But still.
Trash.
Hey, that's trash. Put that away, little one. All right, we're gonna cut this one. Maybe make a part 3 at some other point, but my phone's about to die.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of the beginning of our story, right?
Yeah, but there's so much. Get that out of your mouth, child.
I mean, I think it's a good ending point. We might add some more later, but
Yeah.
for now, this is it.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, guys. See you next time.